Hello and good morning, everyone. I am Miss Aisha Siddiqui. I hope everyone is fit and healthy. Everyone is taking all precautions. Everyone has taken vaccinations. Vaccination is a must now because we have, after so long and after working so hard, come to this vaccination, and people are just scared for not taking for many reasons. But there are no such reasons like that. You can go Google it and find that there's no side effects for the vaccines, and please do take your vaccines to stay safe and protected from this virus. It is a shield of this virus. Welcome back. I'm Miss Aisha Siddiqui and from Arham College. Today we are doing general English for the second year BA students. So we've already completed semester 3. We are in semester 4 and we are on chapter number 5, that is syntax. So I have already taken one class on syntax and done the basic of it. What does it mean? And everything about syntax, that is the basics of syntax, is done. Now we are moving ahead to the second part of syntax, and that is phrases. Now, of course, syntax is structuring a sentence, framing a sentence. So phrases is a part and a very important part of sentences. And therefore, whenever we do sentences, we have to do phrases in it. It is included. Now we are going to do phrases, and I'm on page number 82. I'll just show it to you. I'm referring to this book of linguistics. It's general English, SY, and linguistics and introduction. So this is the book that I'm referring to. Even you all can refer to the same book. And yeah, so we are on page number 82 of this book. I have started with phrase structure rules. All right, before this, I'll just tell you I've done phrases, the basic part of phrases. After doing the syntax basis, I already started with the basis of phrases. Now we are on the rules of phrases. All right, phrases structure rule. So there is many things that you can see on this page, such as PS, NP, AP. So do not get confused with this. We will BP also. So we will do in detail what does this mean from the very basic. So the people who have not understood it or were getting confused with or finding it very complex. So I'll just tell you that it's just the basic grammar that we've done in our schools. It's nothing very much complicated or nothing something like Newton's law and all. So it's very easy. Once you understand it, you can apply it in your day-to-day language as well. It will also improve your communication skills, your personality. And once you start speaking and you have a proper personality, so you will have more confidence, and the person listening to you will have more faith in you. He'll start trusting you, your trust your words. He'll start understanding you very well, so you can bond easily, you can make up relationships easily with the help of language. So language is a very important part of our lives, and English language, as it's an globally accepted language, it's very important for us to learn English language in a proper way, grammatically correct. So grammar is really important when it comes to English language. Even though if you know very proper English and you start speaking, but there are few grammatical mistakes here and there, you will not have full confidence in speaking, and the person in front of you, just because of few apostrophes s here and there will be a lot of confusion, right? So to avoid this confusion, to bring up your language, to make up your language much more attractive and much more easier to understand for bonding, you should know grammar very well. So today, the topic that we're doing is a grammatical topic, and it's very important for us to learn. It is basic and a little advanced level from the basic. So I'll just revise the basic again, and then we will move forward to the advanced level as well. So I'll just share my screen here. Okay, I hope my screen is visible, students. Okay, to start with phrase structure rules, the basics I'll just So you can see I am on Wikipedia here. Even you all can find this online, and you can go through it. I'll just explain you this so that you get the gist of the whole part, and then we will go in detailings. All right. So to start with phrase structure rules. Now, phrase structure rules are a type of rewrite rules. All right, used to describe a given language. Rewrite rules means it's we already know what it is. It's just in a deeper meaning that we need to understand. It's all based on sentences. All right. It is closely associated with the early stages of transformational grammar. So I just now said it is just the basic grammar you all must have done in school. So it's just a little bit of you can say not even a full step of advance, a little advance, so that you should know little basics and then we can move ahead. Now it is proposed by Noam Chomsky. All right, now Chomsky is, you can say, the scientist who removed phrase structure rules here in 1957. They are used to break down natural language sentences into its parts, also known as syntactic categories. Now, a whole sentence, how is a full sentence formed? With the help of small words, right? These words, as I said in the previous class, it has to be arranged in a proper way, in a proper category, in a proper structure, and organized, right, properly. Otherwise, if you disorganize the words, the sentence will be wrong. So you need to learn how these words have to be organized in a proper form. So therefore we already saw that why sentences are so important and how they are built. Now we'll go into each category, how it is built. So this is the basic category, how a sentence is built, that is phrase structure rules. So phrase structure rules is actually breaking the sentence into smaller parts, and these smaller parts are later on fixed together to form a whole sentence. All right, now we are going to learn each category of it. That means parts of speech, you can say. It's just parts of the whole sentence. A grammar that uses phrase structure rules is a type of phrase structure grammar. That means you're using grammar. Then phrase structure rules, as they are commonly employed, operate according to the relation. A grammar that employs the phrase structure rules is therefore a constituency grammar. That means a whole structure of grammar. All right. Now let's go into few examples. Phrase structure rules are usually in the form of ABC. That means in short forms, you can say. All right. So each letter has a specific word or a meaning to it. So now that means, suppose ABC together makes one sentence. So from this ABC sentence, A is one word, B is another, C is another, and they all together form ABC. So therefore, a sentence, S denotes for sentence. Now, a sentence is made up of a noun phrase and a verb phrase. So on the screen, you can see NP. In fact, even in your book here, you can see the first. Here you can see the first part of phrase structure rule is NP. That means noun phrase. And then the second part is VP. That is the verb phrase. All right. So there are many more phrases as such. So we will just go in detailing of this. NPDET, that is the first noun, that is the determiners. All right. And then AP is the adverb. All right, adverb. The first rule reads a sentence, S as a sentence, NP as noun phrase, VP as verb phrase. The second rule says AP as, not as adverb, I'm sorry, adjective phrase. All right, remember DET is for determiners and only N is for a noun. All right, only N is a noun. Fine. So double P is prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase. Now you remember, you already know what is a noun. Now noun has proper noun, common noun, all those nouns. Verbs are action words, adjectives, prepositions. right? Then determiners. We all have done this in our basic school life, right? So we are going to move a little one more step ahead for that. Beginning with the sentence, that means S now, and applying the phrase structure rules, that means the other rules such as noun phrase, then we bring the action verb, that is verb phrase, all this into one whole sentence, and finally we'll form one whole correct sentence, grammatically correct. All right. Now, the sentence was constructed by Noam Chomsky as an illustration that phrase structure rules are capable of generating a syntactically correct or systematically correct sentences. Phrase structure rules, when broken down into parts, they are shown in a tree structure. All right. So how can you see a tree structure? If you see on the screen here, S is on top, that is a sentence. It goes with noun phrase and verb phrase. It's divided by two, noun and verb. All right. Then the noun phrase is divided more into, a noun phrase is divided into adjective phrase and adverb phrase, or only the noun. Then the verbs, the adverbs. All right, the verb phrase is more divided by verbs and adverbs. All right, now here we will see. So it's divided like that. Now determiners, here you can see the noun phrase is then divided by the D, that is the determiners. Determiners are what? The school, the shop, a girl. A is the determiner. The means defining something, that is determiners. All right. So now we have seen till here what is the basic. So till now you all must have understood what is the basic of phrase structure rules, and what is noun phrase, what is adjective phrase, adverb phrase, prepositional phrase, that is the PP. Then we have done the verb phrase, that is the verb, and the adverb phrases, prepositional phrases, all together forms the sentences. All right, we also saw the D, that is the determiners. All these together make into a sentence, right? So till now we saw all of these basic things. So it was just the introduction here. Now we'll move forward into more deep. Now if you see in your book, what are the 3 pages that I am doing right now is page number 82, 83, 84 and 85. Just before clauses, we are finishing up with the topic. All right, so we'll just start in detailing now. I'll share my screen. So we are done the basics here. We are not doing the clause, we are doing the phrase. All right, now as I said that phrase structure is done by Chomsky's grammar, right? So let's see what he has done. And let's go a little ahead in it. Chomsky's system of transformational grammar, though it was developed on the basis of his work with Harris. All right. So there was another scientist, you can say Harris, who together with Chomsky made this grammar part. All right. Now, it was Chomsky's system that attracted the most attention, received the most extensive exclamations, further development, right? So it was Chomsky, and Harris added his own thing, but then the scientist Chomsky's was more attracted, and it was later on made more properly made. Then it comprised, as the outline it says, syntactic structure, that means phrase structure. It has 3 sections: the phrase structure, the transformational component, and the morphoformic component. But we are going to do only the phrase structure. Each of these components consists of a set of rules. So as I said, we're doing phrase rules, right? So we will be going into detailing where S stands for sentence again, noun phrase, verb phrase, determiners, then auxiliary verb as well, noun, N for noun, V for verbs. All right. This is a simple phrase structure grammar. It generates and defines grammatical sentences. The man will hit the ball. it is a proper sentence. How it is made? With the help of different rules and different grammatical parts, right? In these rules, the arrow can be determined or interpreted as an instruction to rewrite this form into a proper symbol or a string of symbols. For example, rewrite the symbol VP as the string symbols of verb plus noun phrase, and then verb to be constructed properly, right? So it's just a ruling. So you can see here, it is verb phrase which divides the verb and the noun phrase differently. All right. So this is how we're going to form the sentence. Let's see in detailing now. Let's see a few examples through which you all will understand what it is. The underlying structure of a sentence or a phrase is sometimes called a phrase structure. Phrase structure rules provide us with systematic structure for a sentence to be built. Context-free grammars contain only rules. So we have to follow those rules. All right. Now here down. A phrase structure grammar consists of a set of rules that is known as the rewrite rules, which are applied stepwise. How they're applied? A rewrite rule has a single symbol on the left one or more symbols on the right. Right? So you can see A/B plus C, like that. So these are the rules. Head-driven phrase structure grammar. What does this mean? It has evolved from the ideas and theoretical sources. All right. So a head-driven phrase structure grammar of some language defines that the set of signs which the language comprises of the formal entities of the model. Okay. So if you see here, we have already understood everything. Let's go into this video and watch it.
A set of specific linguistic rules known as syntax. It defines the different parts of speech, like words and sentences, and allows.
So you can see here that for a sentence to be completed, we need so many things, right? We need words. From the words, we build sentences. From sentences, we build to paragraphs, nouns, verbs, and punctuation is also required, right? Let's see ahead.
From a Greek root, the word graphein, which means to write or to draw. Early forms of grammar can be traced back to ancient Greece and even further back to 4th century BC India. There are several different ways of understanding grammar. One is descriptive grammar, which looks at how the language is actually used, and it's based on observation of real-world usage.
Now, if you see here, we are going to do the descriptive grammar as we are going into detailings and we're analyzing each part of how we are going to build a sentence or each part of the sentence, right?
Prescriptive grammar, on the other hand, is less about observation and seeks to refine a language and set down specific rules for its use. If you've ever been corrected for using the word ain't, that's prescriptive grammar at work, even though it's a widely used contraction. For linguists, people who study language, there's an ongoing debate over whether their role should be prescriptive or descriptive. Some feel that standardizing the language is advantageous because doing so helps simplify communication and makes it easier to understand. But other linguists believe that their role should simply be to note the changing vernacular, new idioms, forms of jargon, without judgment. For most of us, grammar is simply a way.
So you saw here that all these adverbs, verbs, noun, phrases, everything we are going to study in order to build a sentence, right?
To understand how to communicate more clearly. The study of grammar allows us to analyze patterns and to avoid the overused terms known as cliches. In this way, it can lead to more interesting writing and speech, and can even unlock more abstract forms of communication like poetry.
So, we are in the second year. We are also doing the poetries, right? So side by side, we also need to do this as languages so that we understand the poetry language as well. All right. So till here you understood what are these phrase structure rules, right? That is also known as the PS rules. So I'll just stop my screen here. So these PS rules are what? What are they? They are the phrase structure rules. All right. Phrase structure rules known as PS rules. If I read out here, are rules that determine how different kind of phrases are formed. How are the different kind of phrases formed, as well as how different phrases. So here you come to know the following sets of phrase structure rules. First comes the noun rule, the noun phrase. You will recollect that a noun phrase must minimally consist of a noun. At least a noun has to be there, a proper noun or a common noun. For example, you can say John. John is a proper noun. So there has to be a proper noun when a noun phrase is there. Or the boy, a teacher, that's the common noun, right? It should have boy, a girl. Now, when we say girl, we have to use a girl. When we say toy, we have to use a toy or the toy, right? So if you put a noun phrase, there have to be determiners, that is the in the beginning, right? So when we see noun phrase, we also see determiners, the det. All right. Now, since the determiners are optional elements, now when I'm saying John, I'm using a proper noun. So we don't need to put the or in front of a proper noun, right? So we cannot say the John has come, right? In front of a name, we do not put a determiner like the, but in front of a common noun like the shop, a teacher, we use determiners. So mostly when in noun phrases, common noun is used, you put determiners, and when if a proper noun is used, you remove the determiners. Therefore, determiners are optional. In that, not all noun phrases need to have determiners, I just now said. Then this is a conviction followed by optional elements. So the D in the NP, noun phrase, is just optional. All right. Now what comes ahead, we could also optionally have adjective phrases. Now when noun phrases come, with noun, adjectives also come, right? So between the determiners and the noun, adjectives is something describing about the noun, something saying more about the noun. All right, this is known as adjectives. So that means if you're saying boy, boy is the main part, right? A noun, boy is a common noun. So we've used the noun phrase here. So boy is a common noun. If you put the boy, you're using determiner and noun phrase together, D and NP together, the boy. Now when we cannot just say the boy, the sentence is not complete. So we have to add up with an adjective. That means we need to describe or say something about the boy. We're just not saying any word without any meaning, right? We have to say a meaning to it. So we say the boy has a blue car. All right. So the boy has a blue car. So when we are describing blue car, that means first of all, car becomes the object, and describing the object, blue car, becomes the adjective. So we say ADJ, that is adjective phrase P. AP you can also say, but AP actually comes for adverb. All right. So how a adjective phrase and adverb phrase are shown differently. For adjectives, you say ADJ, and for adverb, you say ADVP phrase. All right, these are the two different ones. So we use here the boy has a blue car. So object has also come into it, and describing the object, that means adjective has come into it. All right. Or sometimes we just simply describe or use an adjective for the boy itself. The tall boy has a blue car. That means we are describing the common noun, the noun phrase, and therefore we are adding adjectives to it. All right. So when a sentence, till now, what did we see? A sentence requires a noun phrase, the beginning, determiners, that is optional. Then we require an object or an adjective, that means description about the noun or the object, right? So we've come till the adjective phrase. Then we come to more phrases ahead, right? We have done with adjective phrase. Then we come to verb phrase. Now in verb phrase, that means we are talking about the boy, right? Now the boy jumped high. Jumped becomes the verb phrase. So if we want to say something about the action, we're using the verb phrase. Now if I said that boy jumped high, so I'm showing, did he jump high, did he jump low, did he just jump simply, right? So I'm describing, that means I'm adding verb, adverb phrase. So therefore I just did not say the boy jumped. If I say the boy jumped, we are using the determiner, the noun phrase, as well as the verb phrase. But if I said the boy jumped high, I'm using the determiner, the noun phrase, the verb phrase, as well as the adverb phrase. All right. If I use adjective phrase, so I will say the tall boy jumped high. So here determiner is coming, adjective phrase is coming, noun phrase is coming, verb phrase is coming, and adverb phrase is also coming into it. So you see that all these phrases are together adding and making up a sentence. So now you understood how all these verbs are required to make up a sentence. All right. So I think till here it is really clear. And if you see, do not get confused by all these, if you see, all these descriptions shown into parts and like a tree table structure made. It's just showing you that a sentence or a noun phrase has a determiner, an adjective phrase, then a noun, a prepositional phrase, or maybe verb phrase. All right, just now as I divided, the tall boy jumped high. The is the determiner, tall is the adjective verb, boy is the noun phrase, jumped is the verb phrase, high is the adverb phrase. So everything is added. If I see a girl, we're using a preposition, pp phrase. All right. So all these things, so do not get confused. They've just divided it and shown it to you in a proper way. Do not get confused in it. This was all about framing the sentence using the phrase structure rules. So I hope the phrase structure rule is understood by you. The next topic that we're going to do is the clauses, that is after the phrases. And yes, stay tuned. I hope you understood this part and you are capable and there is capacity to move ahead and to do clauses. Thank you very much, students. Stay home, stay safe, and do get your vaccinations.